thank y'all for being here, for attending this. I'm really excited about this. Chime360 came along at obviously a very unique time in the real estate space. I would say prior to March of 2020, the pervasive opinion of 3D tours and things of this nature, where they were really something you would only ever use on a luxury listing or a listing that comes with a large commission check, because financially there was a pretty significant barrier to entry. You know, Matter reports probably the 800-pound gorilla in this industry, and 3D tours in general. They work outside of real estate as well, actually. But ultimately, after lockdown, after March of 2020, everyone really needed to use 3D tours, because you literally weren't allowed to go inside of other people's houses, much less leave your own in certain instances. So the advent of the 3D tour definitely was more popularized during the past 18 months, if you will. Let's call it 16 months. And the partnership that Chime and iSpy have entered into is literally one of a kind, right? So iSpy has built some great partnerships with Remax and EXP and other brands, et cetera, but we're the only company in the whole space that has this partnership with them, where we are actually paying for your monthly subscription. So every single Chime client, whether you want to use the service or not, you have it for free. It is part of your Chime subscription. That is something that I'm really excited about, that we're really proud of. You know, at Chime, we want to bring y'all value, not only in the technology that we develop, but also in the partnerships that we develop as well. So the purpose of today is to get to know Frederick, get to know Chime360 a little bit better, to understand what exactly it is they bring to the table. And the beauty is, guys, and girls for that matter, there is no integration that needs to be built out. Like, it is there, it is ready for you. If you've ever uploaded a 3D tour or any type of tour into the MLS, it is going to appear on your Chime side. And if you want to add it to a pocket listing or off-market property, there's already a place for you to add Chime360's service into the back end of our system as well. So no new learned behavior or anything like that, outside of just using their product the way anyone else would. You're just getting a substantial financial incentive and discount, and it's accessible now to everyone, right? So no monthly subscription, which is generally what they require. It's just pay for what you use, right? Simple as that. And they have a lot of different options that Frederick will go into today. So super grateful for y'all to spend some time with us. I'm glad you're taking some time to learn about some of the resources that we're bringing to you at Chime. And the reality is, it isn't possible without y'all, right? The only reason why any technology company wants to considering partnering with us is because of you, right? Because of our clients. They know that we have top tier clients. They know that we have real estate professionals and not practitioners. And they want to do business with you as well. So you're very much valued. You're very much appreciated. And I will shut up and let Frederick get on with the show.
Well, thank you so much. That was a wonderful introduction, Randy. And hello, everyone watching. So my name is Frederick, and I work with Chime360, and I am part of our account management team for Chime360. So I am your first port of call. If you have any questions, queries, you can reach out to me at any time, and I can help you out with whatever you need. And today I thought, let's take a look at a virtual tour, see what it looks like in action, and chat through sort of the benefits, what comes with a virtual tour, and how to really take advantage of it. As Randy said, you can literally share it anywhere. So when your tour is completed, it's returned back to you as a URL. And that link can be posted on inside Chime, on your website, on property portals, social media, anywhere you can post a link, you can share your tour, which means it's accessible to anyone. There's no software to download, there's no apps to install. Anyone can view your tour at any time, literally at the click of a button. And that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to share my screen with you, but I'm also just going to send in the chat box a link to a virtual tour, so you can see what one looks like and explore it at your own pace. Let me just get up the share screen to show you what a tour looks like in action. So I've just started sharing, and you should see now this sort of lovely property inside. This is actually just outside London. Now, with a virtual tour, we use 360 photos. Now, 360 photo captures absolutely everything around the camera, which means you can look about. You can see everything that's inside that space. Everything is captured. Everything is visible. Now, this means nothing's hidden, nothing is obscured, and you can really show off every element of your property, which is fantastic. It's exactly what you want to do. You want that whole space to be captured and visible inside your listing, which obviously is so much, it's superior to traditional 2D stills, as your clients can sort of go through, see things at their own pace, see things from any angle. They get that sort of immersive quality as if they were inside that property, which is really exciting. It's a really useful way to make sure everything inside your home is really being shown off. Now, using these 360 photos, we can build both the virtual tour, which allows you to walk through the property, but we're also able to build a 3D model. Now, just as this loads up, a 3D model is like a digital dollhouse. This allows you to see the size and shape of the rooms and how everything fits together from a removed perspective. It's a really great way to show off what the space looks like and get a better sense of the proportions of the property as a whole. So you can see here, this is an example of the 3D model. So this includes all the rooms inside this property, but we can also break it down to just show it floor by floor. And again, it gives you a great sense of the scope of the property, how big it is, how big the rooms are in relation to each other. It's a great visual tool to help your clients get a real sense of what that property looks like. What I think is really cool with this feature is it also works as an interactive map. So you can use this to sort of quite quickly and stylishly navigate your way through the property. So if we click here in the sort of conservatory, it will then take us right into that room inside the 360 tour. So it's a great way to sort of quickly move about and just navigate the tour. Now, once you have a tour, there are loads of really cool things you can do inside it. One of my favorites is information labels. Now, these allow you to add premium content into your tours. So if you want to make sure your clients have everything readily available, you can do that with an info label. With these, you can add videos, you can add text, you can add images, you can add, here's a video of me talking about this property. We won't play it because you've got me here in person. But there's loads of really exciting things you can add in. Drone footage, if you have it of a property, you can add that into your tour, which means when you post your tour, obviously on your listing, you have all of your media there. But if you're posting your tour on social media, on your website, it means everything about that property is inside a single place. You don't have to worry about juggling photos and videos, getting lots of media into a tweet or into a Facebook post. You just pop in the tour and everything's there ready for your clients as they look around. Personally, for me, I think Google Street View is the best thing, as this allows you to see, firstly, where the property is on a map, but also you can go for a walk down the street and you can see where the property is located. This allows you to see what the other houses look like and get a feel for the neighborhood. It really places you in the heart of that area and allows you to get sort of all that information people would typically get on the drive to a property. It's a really exciting feature, and it allows you to make sure everything you want to be showed off is right there inside the tour. Now, one of our other features that we have that is super cool is we have a live video chat feature. So this allows you to make a video call with your clients from directly inside the tour. Now, essentially, this means you can have remote viewings where you can talk with your clients before scheduling an in-person viewing. Now, this helps you cut down on wasted viewings, wasted journeys, and really helps you capitalize on your time to make sure you're showing more people, more properties in less time. So I'll give you a quick example of how this video chat feature works. Now, you can make a video call at any time by clicking the shared viewing button inside a tour. Now, when you click this button, it generates a unique link to a live video call. So this will allow you, just like you would with Zoom, or with Skype, any kind of video platform, you can share that link directly with a client, and that will then allow you to join them inside a video call inside the tour. Now, I'm just going to stop my video on the call here so I can get this over to one of our colleagues. So once the link's generated, all you need to do is click the copy button, and you can then send that straight over to anyone. You can pop that in a Facebook message, you could send it in an email, which means you can either do an instant video call, like I will now with one of my colleagues, or alternatively, you can actually do a call in advance. So you can say, let's do a video call on Friday morning at 10 o'clock. Click on this link and you'll be able to join. Now, as you can see here, I've joined in with one of my colleagues, and we are inside a video call together. So we can see each other, we can have that conversation. As you can see, I'm not holding the mouse, and my colleague is able to move around inside the tour, move from space to space, and interact with it, which is great as it allows you to have that sort of shared viewing experience. Rather than a screen share, your clients are able to interact with the tour. They're able to see, explore at their own pace, and you can talk them through. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Andrea, for joining. I'll let you get back to work. Lovely. So that's a really cool feature. And you can either do a one-on-one call with a client, or alternatively, you can actually do a group call. So that will allow you to actually do, which is really exciting, multiple people inside a call at once. So it's almost like a virtual open house. You can send out that link, say, hey, we're doing an open house, come join. And then everyone who clicks that link joins the same video call. And they're able to walk through the property with you as a group. You can hear any questions they have, and give them that same sort of personalized experience you'd give if you're walking them through the property in person. It's a really exciting feature. Now, if someone misses a live video call, you can also create a pre-recorded walkthrough, which has your voice and your video talking about the property and leading them through from room to room. So this is a fantastic way to make sure you're able to upsell your property, even when you're not in front of your computer. Whether it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon or 4 o'clock in the morning, anyone can watch that recording and have you personally lead them through the property, which essentially means you're able to upsell your property 24/7, even when you're not in front of the computer. Which is, of course, when you've got a busy schedule, you're doing lots of things at once, it allows you to make sure you're even more accessible to your clients, and they can get that information from you in that recording. So that's a basic walkthrough of what a virtual tour looks like. But there's so many more things you can do. We've launched a blur tool, so you can blur out parts of the property. We've just added a lead generation tool. So if anyone misses a video call with you, it captures their details. They're able to fill out a brief form, and then that's emailed right over to you. So that means if you do miss a call, you can give them a ring back later on, schedule in a viewing with them, and make sure you're not missing any potential leads, which is, again, something really exciting. We love hearing how our clients use the platform, how they're feeling it out, and what we can add in to really make sure you're getting the most out of these tours, which is vital, because when you're using it, you really want to make sure everything you need is there and ready to use. So I think I'll just stop the share and join Randy again. Hello.
Yeah. Well, Frederick, one of the things that I like about y'all's virtual tour is the ability to add those little snippets at different parts of the rooms where you can highlight certain features of the room, right? So, you know, bad example here, but if you just got a brand new dishwasher that's the fanciest version, you know, you can put a piece, you can put a little icon over the dishwasher and someone can click on it and there can be a little clip of you talking about the dishwasher, right? But what the point being is throughout this virtual tour experience, you can add these different little clips that are going to highlight the selling points of the home so that you're not losing so much of that personal touch that you may really value when you're at a home in person, right? From the listing agent perspective, you always want to be selling the story of the house, right? Why did this person buy this house? What are the great memories they have here? What are the great features? What kind of upgrades did they do? This ability to drop in those little videos really empowers you to keep that aspect of the property itself. And then another piece that I really want for you to explain for everyone is how easy it is to put something like this together. Like I was saying in the beginning, Matterport cameras and 3D cameras and equipment like that are really cost prohibitive for a lot of people. So most people don't want to sink $2,000 into a camera, but we can all afford $50 for a tripod that spins in a circle, right? So kind of go into detail about that.
Definitely. So with us, there are two options you can take to get your virtual tours. And the first is if you want to take your photos yourself. Now, I'll preface this by saying I myself, I'm not a photographer. When it comes down to Christmas, my family keep me as far away from the photos because they don't want me to mess it up. But with a 360 camera, it's so easy to do. Now, the piece of equipment I use is called the rotator kit. And this is what it is. It's a small sort of rotator that you can add onto your tripod. And it works with your mobile phone to take a 360 photo. Now, the rotator kit is only $100. So it's the most affordable option out there. And in my opinion, it's one of the best. So I use this with my iPhone 11 and the image quality is just as good, if not better than most 360 cameras. It works with the rotator that spins the phone 360 degrees and then a fisheye lens, which you clip over your phone's camera lens and it opens up the view. So you can capture the ceiling and the floor. Now the rotator works with a mobile app that you have on your phone and that stitches your images together for you. So literally all you do is press the button, it does the rotation, and then you have a photo. And that photo can be uploaded immediately to our platform, ready to go into a virtual tour right away. Now there are other options. There are over 50 360 cameras on the market. Some of them are absolutely brilliant, others not so much. So I'd say if you're looking for more a camera rather than a rotator, I'd say take a look at the Insta360 cameras. So their latest model is the 1X2, which is sort of the leading model out there at the moment, and it's only around $400. So it's not sort of thousands and thousands, a huge sort of sink. It's reasonably affordable for sort of the high quality equipment that it is. There are other cameras from Insta360, and also I'd say take a look at Ricoh Theta as well, as they have some good cameras. But for me, I'd say the rotator kit by the VR kit, and then the Insta360 camera are the best options. And then once you have your photos, all you need to do is upload them to your account. Once uploaded, you send them through to us, and then we build everything. So we build the virtual tour, the 3D model, and a 2D floor plan of your property. And you then get a completed order back in less than 24 hours, Monday to Friday. So it's super quick. You could take the photos now, and with the photos, you only need one photo per room. Now that's a huge difference from platforms, other virtual tour platforms that actually require one every couple of feet. Needing only one per room means for an average 2-story, 4-bedroom property, it only takes around 20 to 30 minutes to get all your shots. So you could start a photo shoot now, have all your photos in 20 minutes time, send them to us, and you'll get your completed tour back before this time tomorrow. So it's so quick, it's so easy, anyone can do it. And what's even better is we have loads of really useful tutorial videos and best practice guides available, which guide you through the entire process. And they're really sort of easy tips, sort of setting your camera up in the middle of each room to make sure you fully capture it, and leaving open the doors throughout the property. So you have sort of a clear line of sight from room to room. So it's really straightforward. That's those are fundamentally the principal rules for taking a 360 photo, and then you're good to go. You can capture everything you need. And what's even better is you can take photos outside as well. So there are a lot of platforms out there that will only support interior photos. With us, you can take photos in the garden, out the front of the property, showing what that exterior space looks like as well. So you really are showing off the full potential of that space, what it looks like across the board. So that's sort of our first option. That's the self-capture option. Our second option is we also have a photography package available. So if photography is not for you, you can still use a professional photographer. So we have a photography network that operates across the US, and you can use that to book a photographer who'll go out to your property. They'll take SLR still photos and 360 photos, and then build your virtual tour, 3D model and floor plan. So you have a sort of complete media package, which you can then use with your listing. So that's a really cool option that's also available to you guys. Oh, I see we've had some questions come in. Let's take a look. So from Melissa, when you share the link, is there a maximum amount of people that could be viewing the virtual open house with you at one time? So we usually recommend to have about 8 people inside a video call. And typically that's just in case anyone decides to use a mobile phone. When each person comes up inside that video call, they have a little icon and you'll see them. Now, if you're using a mobile phone, as it's a smaller screen, if you have about 8 people, that's a good number. Any more than that, you actually won't then be able to see the tour because there's too many sort of bubbles inside that call. However, if you know that everyone involved is using the, pardon me, words gone out of my head. If everyone is using a larger screen, so whether that's a desktop or maybe a tablet, then you can definitely have more people inside a call. There's no formal limit, so it's up to you. But then it's sort of, if you're doing a virtual open house, what number will work best for you to sort of manage? But it is entirely up to you. There's no limit, and you can have as many people as you want, if you like, inside a call. Lovely. I see a question from Robert. Can you tell me more about acquisition? Can I load the same type of file from an iSpy service as Matterport? So with our platform, we use the standard 360 photo format, which is called a 2:1 ratio equirectangular JPEG. Now that's essentially sort of tech waffle for a spherical image. So this is the standard export for most 360 cameras. Unfortunately, the only exception would be the Matterport cameras, which make a unique file format that can only be used with Matterport. However, if you are using any other 360 camera, that's the standard format, and you'll be able to use that on our platform. So you'll certainly be able to use that. But yes, I see a question here from Bill as well. Can you repeat the name of the camera rotator? Yes, so it's called the VR kit. Let me just type that out for you as well. And you can get that directly from their website, which is really useful. It's a really great piece of equipment. I love it. And it's just really simple to use, which is what you want. You don't want to sort of be juggling a million pieces of equipment. It's just the rotator and a tripod, and then you're good to start taking your photos. So I see a question that's come in from Sue. What's the cost? So as Randy mentioned earlier, there's no monthly subscription. That's entirely covered by Chime. The only cost is the processing fee for each tour. So that's $1 per 360 photo with a minimum spend of $15 per tour. So with 1 photo per room on average, if we go back to that sort of 2-story, 4-bedroom property, that would be around 15 to 20 360 photos. So it's a really sort of great costing for the platform.
Yeah, sorry about that, Frederick. I had knee surgery last Friday and just got caught up with some insurance stuff that I've been waiting for 2 hours on. So my bad.
No worries. No worries. I've been chatting with everyone in the question and answer section.
Good. Yeah, it looks like they've got a lot of questions going on here. Larry asked about the Theta SC2 360. Is that a suitable camera, it sounds like?
Yes. So that's definitely a great option. It's one of the latest offerings from Rico Theta, and it's probably on par with the Rico Theta V, which is sort of their previous model that they've released. So it's great, you get high quality images. It takes a 360 photo in less than 3 seconds, so it's super quick. And you use it with your mobile phone. So your mobile phone acts as almost a remote for the camera. You set it up in the middle of the room, leave the room, you can press go on your camera, on your phone, and it will then take the photo. So that's definitely a really good option out there as well. And yes, with the Manfrotto monopod, great monopod, does the trick, and a lens protector is always useful because the last thing you want is to be taking a photo outside, there's a strong gust of wind, and then you've smashed up your camera. You always want to make sure it's safe and looked after. So with a protector, or even when you're looking at tripods or monopods, just checking that it's weighted. Because if it's weighted, it means it won't easily tumble over if that gust of wind comes along.
Okay, that makes sense. And then Eric asked about having a branded and unbranded tour. Did you answer that one already?
I haven't answered that one, but it's a brilliant question. Yes. So with your tours, you can have both a branded tour, which has your logo inside as a watermark in the top right-hand corner. So that's visible in every room at any angle. And you can also add your logo to something we call the nadir image. And that goes at the bottom of your screen, hiding your tripod. As it's a 360 photo, it captures absolutely everything, but that nadir image allows you to hide it and offer that extra layer of branding. You can also customize your tour's URL with your company name. So basically when people are clicking through to your tour, when it's on your website or on social media, it has your name in the link, your logos inside the tour. So people know that this is a service you offer, they're really remembering you and your brand. But when it comes to things like the MLS, we do also provide an unbranded link. So that has all of that branding stripped out, and you can then use that on your MLS listing. So it sticks with sort of the no branding compliance.
Cool, very cool. Let's see, did we get the rest of these questions answered? Melissa asked about the maximum amount of people.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Very cool. Awesome. Let's see, so that really handles the Q&A piece. Did you go over some of the digital imaging, like editing that y'all do? Would you show some examples of that? Really cool, where basically they can take an empty room and furnish it.
Yes, let me pull up some examples so I can show you guys. It's really cool stuff. So we offer virtual staging. Now, this is a really exciting service if you have sort of a property that's currently completely empty, or maybe you have a property that is mid-renovation. So let's just get up this shared screen and I can show you guys exactly what this looks like. So essentially what we are able to do is take your 360 photos of the space and then digitally add furniture or digitally renovate that space so you're able to see exactly what it looks like. Well, what the potential of that space is, what it could potentially be. So let's just get up the share screen. Come on, Zoom, you can do it. Lovely, so here we go. So this is an example of virtual staging. So as you can see, this is an empty apartment, there's nothing there. And for me personally, I'm very much a visual learner. So when I see an empty space like this, I think this is a beautiful empty space. I have no idea what it could be. But then with virtual staging, we're able to add in all of this furniture. So this is the exact same photo, but we're able to see, right, this is a living space. We've added a TV, a really nice couch. We've added in the sort of dining room space. So you've got a table, some chairs. It really allows you to show what that space could be and what that potential is for that environment, which is really exciting. It's a great way to make sure that you're able to show all the different capabilities of your property and what's available to your clients, what their home, their dream home could be. Now, our next option is virtual renovation. So you can see here, this is an example of this is a space that is mid-renovation. So it's not exactly the most idyllic space to show off in person. But what we can do is virtually stage this. So this is the normal tour of the space as it is. And then this is a version after it's been renovated. So this shows the space completely transformed. It's the exact same photo, but we've been able to add in furniture. We've been able to add in the design, what it's going to look like. So sort of painting the walls. We've added in artwork. We've added in the lighting fixtures. It's a really fantastic way to show what the finished product of a space is going to be. Now, of course, there are loads of other uses. We've had actually quite a few people place renovation orders for properties that the current owners don't really have the best taste in interior design. So we've had people say, can you fix this? Can you make it look nicer? And we're able to do the exact same thing. We can strip out furniture that's already there. We can make it look modern, sleek. We can make it look traditional. We've got a whole sort of staging library, so it really fits with what that space is and what that property requires, what will make it look good. Now, our last option that we also have is full 360 CGI. Now, this is really cool. This is where it gets very sort of space age in the future. Now, this is perfect for sort of new builds. So with architect CAD drawings, we're able to generate a completely computer-generated version of a property. So this tour here is of a property that hasn't finished construction yet. It's currently being built, but what we've done is taken those drawings and built a full-scale replica of what that space is going to look like when it's complete. So nothing here is a photo, it's all computer-generated, and it allows you to show off spaces if they haven't been built yet, if they're mid-construction, so you can actually make that sale before construction's done. People can move in the day it's ready to move into, which is really, it's just such an exciting offering to have, to really make sure you can show off any kind of property, no matter how far along it is in its life. It's a really exciting feature that we also have. So full staging, this is an additional service. And our pricing varies on the service and the number of photos. So for normal virtual staging, that's $79 per 360 photo. For renovation, it's $99 per 360 photo. And then for CGI, it can begin at around $1,000, $2,000, depending on those drawings. But if you want to get in touch about renovation, just drop us an email and we'll be able to talk it through with you on that side of things. So yeah, that's our offering when it comes to staging, which is just, it's really cool. It's really exciting stuff.
Well, we got a question here about the photographer piece. Can you go into a little more detail about the photographers, what they charge? And if I'm not mistaken, y'all can actually work with any existing photographer relationships?
Yes. So if you already have a photographer that you use, you can get them to get in touch with us and we're able to get them to join our network. So we'll give them training on how to take 360 photos, how to get the best stuff for our platform. It's a really exciting offering, and I can share through a link to you guys that will really allow you to see what it is, what you can do, adding your photographers to the network. When it comes to photography though, I believe our pricing begins at around $150. And this will include the photographer going out to your property, taking the 360 photos and SLR still photos, and then building the virtual tour 3D model and floor plan. There are additional services you can also add on. So we do also offer aerial photography, aerial videography, and twilight photography. So if those are extra things you'd like added on, you can add them on. I think it's about $180 to add on each. But yeah, it's really exciting. And again, it's a really great way if you don't want to take your photos yourself, just to pass that on, someone else can do it. And then you just get this beautiful, complete media package delivered right to you.
Perfect. Yeah. All right. So that covers some of the photography expenses and so on. Bill's asking what the turnaround time would be if you used their y'all's photographers. Do you have a timeline there? So
we usually need at least 24 hours notice to book in a photo shoot with your preferred date and time. If after that 24 hours notice, once we've got the photographer booked in, when they've completed your shoot, it's then 24 hours to get your complete media package back. So that will be our team, our quality assurance team, going through the photos, picking out the best ones to really show off your property, and also building your virtual tour 3D model and floor plan.
Okay, perfect. Let's see. Are there any other questions or thoughts that you wanted to share? Jeremy's asking about, he did a couple iSpy360, I guess that's virtual tours last couple months. What's new on the Chime360 tours versus what you were originally doing? Jeremy, the major difference here is so if you sign up under Chime, there is no monthly subscription for iSpy360. So from a feature functionality standpoint, quite frankly, I don't know if there's anything different. But we will save you that monthly subscription.
Which is always good. Like, that's the fantastic thing about being part of Chime, is they've put forward this really incredible deal for you guys. But I will say, Jeremy, we've also had loads of new features added over the last couple of months. So like, we've got that opportunity to do the video pre-recording. Before it used to just be narration. Now you can actually have your face and you can talk with people inside the pre-recording. You can add music to your tours. So if you want to really set the mood, you can put in some nice jazz, or I don't know, maybe Kylie Minogue, I don't know, whatever you like, you can have playing in the background. And then also we've added a blur tool, which is really useful if you've got 360 photos that have number plates, or maybe your property has lots of photographs that the client doesn't want seen in the tour, you can blur those out right away. So it helps offer that extra layer of security inside the media you're sharing about a property.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Perfect. Any other recent updates that you'd want to share with folks who may be familiar with iSpy360?
So I think our latest update was the lead generation, which I spoke about a little bit earlier, which allows you to sort of, if you miss a call from someone, it captures their details and you're then able to get in contact with them afterwards, which again is just really exciting. It means you're able to make sure no one's missed. You have a trait of recording of everything. You have their details. It's a really useful feature to make sure you're not missing any leads. You want to make sure you've got all of those potential buyers in your emails, in your pocket.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We've got another question from John regarding, can you get example pricing for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 10-room house with 3 exterior shots using your photography? So it sounds like 3 shots for the outside, 10 pictures for the one for each room, 13 pictures there, and then the price for your photographer.
So if you're using our photographers, and with roughly the sort of size of this property, for up to 4,000 square foot, it would be $150 for your first order. So there's a discount you get on that first order. For secondary orders, I believe it would come to around $319. And that's our standard for properties up to 4,000 square foot. And that includes the stills, the virtual tour, 3D model, and floor plan.
Okay, so yeah, it includes the floor plan as well. I think that's a pretty important piece there. I mean, you go from a photographer, paying a photographer for still photos, to getting the 360, the virtual, the floor plan, that ability to actually have that kind of like a group call through the tour. I mean, it's a pretty substantial suite of services for what is probably a marginal difference price-wise, if you're already paying for a photographer. If y'all are interested in getting started, if you haven't already, we sent out an email probably a month ago to every Chime client about how to get signed up for free. If you missed that email or don't feel like looking for it, I can understand that. Check the chat. I put chime360tours.com in the chat. Go to that website, fill out the form. You'll get contacted from somebody at iSpy360, and they'll get your free account set up. So please go do that. Quite frankly, even if you don't think you're going to use this service, go get your account set up so that you have it. You may be shocked one day that you decide this is something that you want to integrate into your business. And quite frankly, getting virtual tours added to a part of your listing presentation is probably going to be expected at this point from many sellers going forward.
What we've also seen, which is really interesting, Randy, is we've been doing independent data research into sort of property portals and how virtual tour usage is being done. And in the last month, virtual tour usage across the US has gone up 6%. So it's just drastically always on the rise. And actually the filters for virtual tours are being moved higher and higher up Zillow's search function. So if you really want your listings to stand out, people are going to start using those search functions, and you don't want your listing to just be missed off, especially when Chime are doing this wonderful thing for you guys. So it's really, really interesting moment. Also with sort of the environmental impacts, we've sort of had lots of interest from sort of a green perspective. Cutting down those viewings means less cars on the road. From potential clients driving about to property viewings, you can get all of that done in that live video call. So you're only actually ever traveling, saving time, but saving gas as well, when you're going to do in-person viewings with only serious buyers rather than anyone.
That's a really interesting point and a very valid point. Less time in the car, less driving, less emissions, things of that nature. See, John asked about how many photographers you have within Glendale, California. John, I think you might need to reach out to iSpy360 to get that question answered. I don't think Frederick has his go-to list of photographers on hand.
However, we have loads of photographers across California. So we definitely should have a nice selection for you, John.
Perfect. Yeah. So John, just go to Chime360tours.com and submit a message there. And he has a follow-up question. Do you provide generic samples of a couple of tours to use in listing presentations prior to having my own tours to use as examples? Yeah, Frederick, you just pulled up an example of a tour. I think it's in the chat as well. John and anyone here, click on the link in the chat, save that link, because you can use that as your example until you have some of your own to use, right? It's a pretty sweet looking house too. So go into the chat, save that link. That can be an example you can use up until you have your own.
I'll also say, if you need any extra sort of demos, or if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to us. I'll just pop our email in the chat box, which is support@ispy360.com. Send us an email. We're always happy to have a chat, answer any questions, or help you out however we can.
Perfect. And then another question about is iSpy360 available in other countries like the Philippines? It's, if I'm not, I mean, look, Frederick is sitting in London, so I believe y'all are based out of London, are you not?
So yes, we started in London, but we do actually operate all over the world. We actually have, I think, part of our office is over in the Philippines, so we definitely do cover the Philippines. I think there's 3 countries in the world where we currently don't have users, but we're working on them.
Yeah, ultimately, what's unique, so with this piece of technology, it isn't reliant upon anything that is uniquely American. It's not reliant on anything that is unique to the way United States and Canada runs its real estate market, right? In order for Chime to work, we need the MLS, right? Some countries just don't have an MLS, like England, for example. So we would be of little to no value there. You could set up an iSpy360 tour of a haunted house in Guadalajara, Mexico, if you wanted, right? So you can do this wherever you want. All right, very cool. Well, that was a solid 45 minutes of a lot of information. Oh, Robert raised his hand. What's up, Robert? Yeah, y'all definitely fire off questions here. I believe Frederick has gotten through what he wants to. There's no info in the chat. Let me copy.
Oh, I see. Sorry, that's my fault. I sent it just to panelists and not to everyone. Let's just There we go. So that should have come through now, both the link and then also the email address for support.
Perfect. There you go. Thank you, John, for pointing that out. Robert, to sign up, go to Chime360tours.com, Chime360tours.com. There'll be some information on there. You scroll to the very bottom. There is a scroll to the very bottom, get in touch. Fill out this, let me open up my screen. Fill out this get in touch form. And Frederick, do you want to talk them through what they should expect once they fill out this form?
So once you fill out this form, this will go through to our team. I believe actually the sign up links are being managed by Chime. So what we'll do once we receive this, we'll send this through to Chime's support team, and they'll then be able to get in contact directly with your unique link with your Chime account to sign up.
Very cool. Erica, you have 165 agents currently. Can they all sign up individually? Yes, we actually got a free account for 100% of Chime users, whether you are the account owner or a user on the account. So I think that was like 13,000 some odd hundred little promo codes that Chime360 sent over to us. So yeah, go ahead and have any of your agents fill out the form and we'll get them signed up as well. Very cool. Looks like we answered all the questions here. Wasn't sure. Yep, Robert, you're good. You're in the right place. Perfect. Guys, well, this was super helpful. I hope for y'all it was for me. It's always good to see these guys and see their product. I think it's really cool. John's asking about the cost of the drone shots. Y'all don't take drone pictures, do you? Or
we do offer drone photography as well. If you click through on the pro photography option, it will take you through to our booking form, and it has all the details there on the booking form for sort of additional services, including aerial photography. So yes, I think if you click on schedule a shoot, that will then bring up the booking form. And then yes, there we have aerial photos, videos, and then aerial photos and videos.
Very cool, guys. Christine, thank you. Thank you for spending some time with us today. Thank you for everyone who made it this far, this long. I certainly appreciate you. With that being said, Frederick, I think this is all we really need to know.
Super. Well, thank you so much for having me today, Randy. I hope everyone watching, thank you for coming along. I hope it's been informative and fun, and we all know more about virtual tours. As I said earlier, if you do have any questions, queries, thoughts, ideas, please do just get in touch with us. We are always happy to have a chat, help you out wherever we can. But otherwise, have a really wonderful rest of your day. And again, thank you for having us.
Awesome. Thank you, Frederick. I really appreciate it. Y'all take it easy.
Okay. Bye now.